is the point of it all, to hold you down where you fall, on the fragments of a dream you saw come true, but wasn't meant for you. Pointless, those shattered fingers hustling, you were never in their game, like the echo of a lie you tell yourself when no one's there to hear. I am pointless.
It's a difficult story, but it's one that I felt needed to be told. Someone sent me a video. They shared a video in the way that people do nowadays. It arrived on my computer. I opened it and I'd watched it and seen it, and before I knew anything else, it was already part of my consciousness. And in this video, it was the interior of a car, and you could see an officer of the law approaching the car, and within seconds, the driver of the car had been shot. And the person filming this thing, in the panic that ensued, you could see, as the camera was moving around, you could see a 3-year-old baby, a little girl on the back seat. So it was obviously the mother filming the father, and this altercation with the arm of the law and the daughter. And when the video stopped, I just thought, okay, well, I can't go back to sleep now. I'm traumatized.
That is crazy.
And so I started writing. And the first song of the album, Ballad of the Star-Crossed, was written within, something like an hour. The bare bones of it was written in 30 minutes. The full song was written in an hour. And that started me on this trajectory of writing all the songs on the album, which are essentially about this incident and violence and society and who we are and who we hope to be and what we've been, in the past so far.
Wow. What is the writing process like for you, the creative process? How does that typically occur?
Well, like this story I've just told, it's any which way. It can be something I've heard. It can be a melody that's been bugging me for months, that's been playing around in my subconscious, and I realize, this wants to be a song. Sometimes it's a rhythm that I'm just beating out, and then I become aware that, what are you doing there? Someone else points it out and says, stop that incessant, drumming. And then I focus in on it, and I realize that I'm subconsciously creating the basis for a new idea. So it can be anything. And the sooner I can get to my studio, I've got a studio at the bottom of my garden, which sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and get to it, and sometimes I just never leave. And I try to get the ideas plotted out and structured out as quickly as possible, because these things, they're almost like visitors from another planet.
Absolutely.
They just turn up in your consciousness, and if you don't catch them, they'll go to someone else, I think.
A couple of songs that really, really resonated with me, mate. If you can just tell me a little bit about the behind the scenes of it. Pointless is a brilliant track.
Oh, wow.
It's just dope.
Thank you.
From beginning to end.
Thank you. Pointless was the song that I wrote for me, in a sense, about this entire album, because all the other songs on the album, I tried to write from the point of view of the various people who were players in that scene that I described earlier on that took place in the car. So it's the voices of the policeman, the wife, the daughter. There's a song for the daughter. There's a song for, members of the press, and so on and so forth. So there are lots of characters, but Pointless was the song I wrote to kind of make my peace with the fact that I think we just live in an inherently violent time. And I was it's a play on words. So when you hear pointless, you think it's one word, but it's actually two words, pointless.
Yeah.
So in other words, do less pointing. Or quite possibly that when you exact violence on people, you make no point. You are pointless. You have, And also the people who are at the receiving end of violence feel as though they're pointless, that that society doesn't care about them. So this word, I found it at the center of any consideration I made of violence. It always came back to this word or its component words, point and less.
Was it an easy song to create?
No. A lot of word gymnastics. I had to kind of make sure that I was making sense. I didn't want to be too preachy. I didn't want to, beat people over the head with it. I wanted to hide in a way, almost like Easter eggs, in this song.
Yeah, someone discover it and they come to the awareness on their own.
Absolutely, and so I struggled with it. In fact, I think it was probably the song I spent the longest crafting, because I really wanted the words to kind of stay in your heart and linger, and maybe you wake up a month, 2 months, 3 months later, and you have another aha moment, and you have
some of the best songs are like that. I find, in it really that it's like you have to sit with it for a while, let it marinate, and after an epiphany of some sort.
You were never